Don't let the lack in your bank account, the lack in your pocketbook define who you are. Somebody missed that. Because see, here's what I've done for years. I'm running, I'm doing this and working with shoestring budgets and making things happen and still not feeling like I've done enough or I'm good enough because I ain't had no money. But God is saying, what does money have to do with the gift that I've given you, child, that you have chosen not to really take boldly? I've given you this. I've given you that. And you're like, but I got a minus in my checking account. What does one have to do with the other? A secret thing.
Hi, I'm Helen Blocker Adams, host of Reset to Reinvent podcast.
And I'm Vanessa, CEO of Talent Connect.
We have connected our talent as women entrepreneurs, and I am pleased to announce Talent Connect as a founding sponsor for our popular podcast.
For any of your staffing, payroll, or other business services needs, be sure to check out our website at talentconnectga.net. That's talentconnectga.net.
And don't forget to subscribe to our popular YouTube channel, Reset to Reinvent YouTube channel. Welcome to Reset to Reinvent podcast, where we empower women and entrepreneurs to rebuild and thrive after life's toughest challenges. I'm Helen Blocker Adams, founder of Unusual Determination, breast cancer survivor, published author, and licensed insurance specialist with over 11 years of experience helping women protect their futures. I've lived on 3 continents, survived breast cancer, run for political office 3 times, and rebuilt my life more times than I can count. And now I help women like you do the same with both the inner transformation and the outer protection you need to build boldly. Let's dive in.
Hello, and welcome to episode 48 of Reset to Reinvent podcast. I am your host, Helen Blocker Adams, and happy Black History Month. Yes, we are in the month of February, Black History Month, and today, you know what I want to do? I want to take a stroll down memory lane. I'm going to spend a few minutes today talking about where we came from. Now, of course, some of you, if you haven't had a chance to go back and rewind, if you will, and go to episode 1. As a matter of fact, go to our trailer as where we talked about what this podcast is going to be about, and we have evolved over the almost year that we have been podcasting. But what's so exciting is that we're in the month of February, Black History Month, and we are getting ready to hit number 50 episodes in a row. Okay, no replays, no reruns, all brand new episodes, 50. Now, I'm told that is a huge milestone. But before we go a little bit further, I want to remind you to subscribe, like, and share our episodes on whatever platform that you're listening to us, or if you're watching us on YouTube, we definitely want you to share and like and put a comment there in the platforms and talk to me. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, and maybe some topics you'd like for us to cover over the coming months, or just let me know, hey, Helen, I like what you're doing. Just talk to me. Here what's so funny is that I have a lot of people that will shoot me a text, they'll inbox me, they'll DM me saying, Helen, man, I really like that episode, such and such, such and such. You're doing a great job. And I'm like, oh, that is wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But do me a favor. Can you make it public and just put it on one of the public platforms? And that just lets other people know that, hey, no, Helen isn't just talking every week or having guests every week. And she's the only one that likes what's going out in the public. So help a sister out if you don't mind. Just show me some love, okay? Yes, yes, yes. I really appreciate that. Also, want to let you know that I remember when we first got started with this Reset to Reinvent podcast. And by the way, it was March the 24th, I think it was. Yeah, March the 24th of 2025 that our first episode went out into the wonderful world of wherever podcasting, I guess. And now I wasn't thinking, okay, well, 50 episodes later in the month of February, I was just thinking one episode at a time. Okay. But here we are getting ready to approach 50. And I remember early on, we were told, and I did some research, that the average podcaster may get to episode 3, 5, 10, maybe 20. But a lot of people, when people say, oh, podcasters, it's so saturated. There's so many podcasts out there. And there are. But there's a lot of them that didn't last past 2 and 3 and 4. And here we are getting ready to approach number 50 in the month of February. And that is just so, so cool. And so I want to take a walk down memory lane a little bit. And the reason why is, the past couple of weeks, we have been diving deep into kind of where I am in this space called podcasting and branching out and launching our new coaching. Sorry, guys, our new coaching business, Unusual Determination Coaching. And if you go back over the past 2 weeks, if you haven't listened, I really encourage you to listen because I need you to see where we are, where my headspace is when I think about where I was a year ago. Think about it. If you are mentally, I'm going to deal with the mental because physically, I think definitely not the same place I was last year because I picked up a few pounds. Okay. But mentally, and where you want to be in terms of your business, in terms of life and things that have, that knocked you down last year, things that just made you, just take your breath away. And just think about the fact that forward, you're still here. You're still here. When I think about 2025, I mean, there's no way in the world I should have started a podcast in 2025. I mean, you'd have to go back and listen to some of the previous episodes to hear that part of my story, and then where it's led me to where I am now, and what you all are experiencing with me. If you've been watching and listening to my podcast, you're seeing me evolve in real time. I mean, seriously, in real time. And it's kind of scary, but it's kind of fun at the same time because I'm you and you're me. I just happen to have the mic, and talking to you. But that's where you and I can do some things. And what do I mean by that? When we talk about the coaching business, fast forward to where I am now and how this platform is, and this platform called my podcast is designed to put some information out there, let you know who I am, where I came from, and that, yeah, I can help you. Why? Because I've been there, done that. And so, you know what? Go to unusualdetermination.com. Go to unusualdetermination.com and click on coaching, book a consultation. And it's free to have that initial consult with me to see if maybe there might be a fit, maybe there might be some things that I can be able to help you with. And of course, we are still building our first cohort of 5 women. Okay, we've had to take a step back, but we're taking a step forward as we move forward, because what we're doing is tweaking a few things in the program that's going to be even better than what we had already put together. So when I talk about what we're doing is in real time, it's real time for real. Okay, but when I think about going back to our first episode, I was green in terms of the podcasting space, but not in terms of broadcasting, because I've done TV, I've done radio, I've written books, and I've done a lot of public speaking and conferences and seminars and all of that. So that all came very easy and natural for me. But the whole podcasting space, learning all of the nuances of podcasting, and in some cases, it's not as difficult as what many people think. But at the same time, coming up with content, every week. I mean, we are on episode 48. We're getting ready to hit episode 50 in this month of February. And I'm so stoked about that. And that's a milestone for us. And when I think about 3 years ago, 3 years ago, because this will be the 3rd year that we will be attending the podcast summit in Atlanta, David Shands and company. Yes, yes, yes. But this is going to be our 3rd year in a row. So 3 years ago, I didn't even know who David Shands was. Okay. I had a little bit of information about podcasting. I had gone through a training course that I talk about in episode number 1. Okay, go back and listen to episode 1. That would give you a lot of background in terms of where I came from. But what I wanted to say was, in terms of where we are now, and 3 years ago, not even knowing. Now, keep in mind now, 3 years ago, I hadn't even started my podcast. Okay, I want you guys with me here. So 3 years ago, we went to the podcast, we got all fired up, came up with the logo, et cetera, and then still didn't have everything in place mentally in terms of getting started. And then 2025 hits, okay? 2024 was a great year in terms of my insurance business. And then the end of 24, the bottom came out. So the year of 2025 was, digging myself out of a hole and still digging, but things are just so much peaceful now. We know where we are. We know whose we are. And I want you to think about, did you have some dark moments in 2025? And did you have some moments where you were like, oh man, how am I going to get past this? How am I going to get through it? What do I need to do? What do I need to change? Do I need to step back? Do I need to think broader? And what about that imposter syndrome that I talked about in episode 40, 41? If you haven't listened or watched that episode, OMG, you've got to listen to that one or watch that one. Okay. By the way, when I say watch, speaking of YouTube, and if you're not a subscriber on my YouTube channel, please do. I would really appreciate it. But wow. So 2025 was just a been down and digging myself out of a hole. And have you ever been in that situation? Maybe it wasn't 2025. Maybe it was 2024 or 2019. or in my case, also 2014, when really a lot of things happened to make my life completely change. But it was 2025 that we launched this podcast. And the whole idea is to be able to help women get through challenging, difficult times, having guests that are inspirational, having guests and or solo episodes where we're talking about strategies to help you get to where you would like to go. And frankly, I think we've done a pretty good job of that. But I need you to let me know if we haven't, if we've fallen short, what is missing, what would you like for us to hear, to share with you. We've got great guests and topics coming up for the month of February and going into month of March. Get ready, get ready, get ready. The month of March is National Women's National History Month. Women's National History Month. Okay. Oh my gosh, we have got some guests lined up for you in the month of March that will blow you away. Now I know we've had some dynamic, impactful guests, but the month of March, ooh, when we talk about, see, what we're starting to see is with this podcast, based on feedback that we're getting, even though there may not be, let's just say, thousands of you that's putting something out there publicly, but we're hearing stories, we're paying attention out there in terms of what women need. And that's why we put a little pause on unusual determination coaching, just a couple of days, not weeks now, just a few days for us to tweak some things so that we can better serve you, so that we can better serve you. And all we need is 5 women in this first cohort. Okay. My producer reminded me that I was saying it all wrong. I was saying cohort and X number of cohorts, tying it in with the number of people and getting it all mixed up. A cohort is a group. So just in case I messed you up, I apologize for that. Okay. But a cohort is a group of individuals that will go through this particular first protected reset signature coaching program. Okay. And all I want is 5 women. All I want is 5 women. You've got to make a commitment for 3 months, but I guarantee you, your life won't be the same after we're done. I'm telling you it won't, because look to last year this time. Go back and listen to some of my episodes and where we were, and listen to and watch some of our episodes. And even with YouTube, for example, we didn't have YouTube early on when we first started. We just started with our YouTube channel and having these episodes on YouTube less than 4 months ago. Okay. So we're evolving. You're seeing us evolve in real time. And it is just so, so cool. So I wanted to use this episode to just kind of paint the picture that, I'm you and you're me. Okay. There's not really a whole lot of difference between us. Now, granted, yes, I've traveled and lived all over the world, and maybe you haven't. But let me tell you a common denominator. And this is what is going to be the foundation, if you will, of unusual determination coaching. And you're going to hear me talking about our coaching business, our coaching program, every episode. Why? Because women need it. Women are hurting. They're hurting because of loss of a loved one, loss of an only sister like me, loss of grandparents, loss of parents, loss of siblings, nieces, nephews, friends, most of us have experienced losses. Most of us have experienced losses. That's what we have in common. That's what we have in common. And when you think about the pain of loss and moving forward, I can show you and teach you how to have that pain, whether it's pain from the mayor's race and all of the negative publicity that just brought me to my knees in 2014, to diagnosis of cancer, to loss of my sister, and then my oldest niece, and then my youngest niece in a short time frame. I think we can all agree that's serious pain, but kept moving forward, kept growing, kept impacting people, kept making a difference and being a difference. How do you do that? That's what a part of my coaching program will help you. So I know you've been through pain of loss, and it can hit you to your core. And it's like, are you just getting through one day at a time in a daze? Or are you pressing forward? Are you in depression? Now, let me just say, I am not a doctor. I am not a nurse. I am not a therapist. None of those things. But I can tell you that I've been there, done that. I'm still here. There are some things that I strategically did to allow me to keep standing. Okay? I know I'm sitting right now, but you know what I'm saying. So, oh my goodness. So that's why after God gave me through different people and entities and conversations that, oh, Helen, there's a missing piece that sets you apart from the average coach out there. And that's what you and I will be having that conversation about. Okay. And as if you go to unusualdetermination.com, if you do that and you just click on, consult and put your information in there, I'll get it. We'll set up a time. See, we want to make sure this happens this week. Okay. We want to get 5 women this week. That's the goal. And I need your help. Now, maybe you're good and maybe this is not for you and it's not for everybody. And that's the other great thing about this. Even when you think about podcasts. Oh, Helen, why you want to start a podcast? Everybody's got a podcast. But the thing about it is this podcast meets a need for a certain niche of people, a certain niche of women in particular. And we're doing that. And we're going to continue to make impact. We need your input to make sure that we're on course. But I can tell you, we are so much in a different mental space now at episode number 48 than where we were in episode 1. Now, is the mission still the same to impact women? Absolutely. That's not going to change for Reset to Reinvent podcast. But I can tell you, we're getting deeper and deeper in terms of what the needs of women are so that they can be able to move forward and get to the next step and get to the next place in their life. Because there's too many of us stuck. I'm just keeping it real. There's too many of you stuck and you don't know what to do. And when you think of the word coach, think of all of these, now by the time this episode comes out, the Super Bowl will have come and gone. I don't know who the winner's going to be, but I can tell you what, every one of those players on both sides, they have coaches, not just one. They've got coaches. They got coaches for different things, whether it's offense or defense, whether it's kicking coach, whether it's the head coach, whether it's the assistant coach. Everybody needs a coach. David Shams is my mentor coach, as well as Brendan Boyd, my coaches in this podcasting space. I've learned so much from them. Okay. Now, many of you might need a coach of the services that we have to offer. And we're going to be adding more things on our website, unusualdetermination.com. But if you go and check it out, we've got some good stuff on there for you to read. And then you can also read a little bit of my story. So when I think of the fact that we're right here on episode 48, about to approach episode 50 of Reset to Reinvent podcast. Oh my goodness, in the month of February, Black History Month, this is history, baby. Because a lot of women or men never made it to 50. And certainly every week. Okay. This has been a weekly love journey, and my goodness, between me and my producer, we have figured stuff out. We have read, we have watched YouTube, we've watched and read and just gotten different things to figure things out. I'm also a part of the David Shands. It's called My Seven Figure podcast. And it's a weekly, we get on a Q&A every week and actually talks directly with the students, if you will, the podcasters as a part of his programs. I learn a lot from there, but a good percentage of what we've been doing, trial and error, and we're figuring stuff out and we're making it happen. And we are putting out a quality episode every Monday. It's so exciting. I am so excited. And I've got a couple of, I may have one, maybe two guests the rest of this month, but definitely at least one. That's the plan right now. But the month of March, oh boy, we're going to have three guests. I've already got them lined up. Just got to confirm everything, but it's all good. It's all good. Now, Women's National History Month is very special to me because I'm a woman, and there's just so many things that women, we women, we're bad. We've done a lot. We have done a lot, but we're also in pain. Yeah, on the inside. And think about pain, unless it's a physical where you can see something going on with the person's body and maybe a deformity, and you're able to look and say, oh wow, pain. Oh, let's just say, for example, I had 2 knee replacements. So if you saw me when I had the bandages on, or when I was using crutches and walking real slow, you can look and say, yeah, that lady's in pain. But I'm talking about the pain that's on the inside from a loss. Could be a loss in terms of a divorce, a loss in terms of a job, a loss in terms of uncertainty about that job, a loss of a loved one. That's pain. That pain has to be dealt with. You can't just keep living your life in pain and thinking it's just going to just go away. No, what's going to happen, like I realized for me, because I didn't really grieve the loss of my sister and my nieces. Yeah, I grieved, but not at the level that probably could have. And that's what I've realized over the past few weeks. And that's why the coaching program has just become so important to me. So important to me. And so it's become a mission, a ministry, if you will. It's much bigger than what I even thought about when I thought years ago of starting a coaching program so I can help people and motivate people. No. I may naturally motivate you, but motivation only goes but so far. Because what's going to happen when I'm gone and you don't hear my voice, or I'm not in your head, and you go back to your old wicked ways? Okay. No, we got to go deeper than that. And that's what this coaching program will do. promise you. Because once again, the real time evolvement of me as an individual, me being transparent with you. I mean, because that imposter syndrome was no joke. Someone said, "Oh no, Helen, you're just so positive." Yes, 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 yes. But then there are times where I'm like, no, I don't think I better do that. No, I don't think I can do that. And that's because that's that little voice in the back of your head saying, "Hmm, yeah, you didn't think you were good enough." And I even had the nerve to say to one of my coaches that I don't know if I'm qualified and maybe I need to be certified to start this coaching program. And then he made a point of telling me of some of the most highly paid, highly impactful coaches out there that has no certification. Here's what he told me. He said, "Man, you've had 8 reinventions for breast cancer survivor. You experienced a situation where you went from $28,000 a month to zero through no fault of your own. I mean, just over and over and over again, 8 reinventions." Now, if you go back and listen to the past few episodes, you'll get all of them. Okay. I'm not going to give you everything here today. You got to go back and listen. And once you do that, you're going to be like, whoa. Yeah, say no joke. Life is no joke, but life is wonderful. Don't let the lack in your bank account, the lack in your pocketbook define who you are. Somebody missed that. Because see, here's what I've done for years. I'm running, I'm doing this and working with shoestring budgets and making things happen and still not feeling like I've done enough or I'm good enough because I ain't had no money. But God is saying, what does money have to do with the gift that I've given you, child? That you have chosen not to really take boldly. I've given you this. I've given you that. And you're like, but I got a minus in my checking account. What does one have to do with the other? They don't a secret. So, ladies, gents, whoever's watching, whoever's listening, we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna wrap up in a second. I just wanted to just give a walk down memory lane because I'm feeling really, really cool about the fact that we're approaching episode 50, which will be February 23rd, by the way. Okay. The last Monday in February. And the fact that, we've come a long ways. I've come a long ways. And now, because a year ago, I wasn't thinking of a coaching program. I wasn't thinking about how everything is tying together, and it's almost like wrapping a gift. And it's like, here you are, Helen, and tying it in with the fact that, grief and losing loved ones and the pain and pressing through in the midst of that pain. And then my book, Unusual Determination, which is now the name also of my coaching business. That's not by accident. God ordained that. My pastor friend, preacher friend, who is now deceased, gave me a prophetic word in July of 2021 when he wrote those words down on a card to encourage me. He said to me, "You have unusual determination. And I know you're going to get through this." Now, when I saw those 2 words, unusual determination, I'm like, oh yeah, hurry. When I saw those 2 words, unusual determination, I was like, oh yeah, that's going to be the name of my book. That's going to be the name of my book. Because I was journaling that whole breast cancer journey. But fast forward to 2026, a coaching program. Oh my goodness. So these allergies are taking my tape. So we're going to finish up. You guys have been amazing. Thank you for traveling me with this journey. Episode 48. Definitely want you to share, like, subscribe to our podcast. Definitely check us out on any of the social media platforms. But subscribe to our YouTube channel, please, please. Okay. Hey guys, happy Black History Month again. And we've got some exciting episodes coming up. And I just wanted you to take this journey with me today. I hope that you've had just as much of a reflection as I have. But I want you just to think about where you were last year, this time in February, and where you are now. Are you in a better place? Are you moving toward a better place? It may not be inch or 2 inches in terms of where you would like to be, but at least some progress. Or has there been enough progress or not enough? Just kind of assess where you are. Now, if you go back to one of my episodes or one or two of my episodes in December, we talked about goal setting and journaling and all those type of things. See, you got to go back and listen and watch some of our episodes because we brought some good stuff. We can do it all episode, but I can tell you that we're on episode number 48, and I'm very excited. I'm so excited that you're here, and I want you to have a great week. Enjoy the rest of your week. Do something nice for yourself. Self-care is a beautiful thing. Self-care is a wonderful thing. And you know what? We're going to see you next time. And we hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Why? Because you deserve to be inspired. Peace. Until next.
Today's episode of Reset to Reinvent podcast is brought to you by the Adams Group Agency, developing final expense leaders.
Storyblocks Audio. 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 Storyblocks Audio.